Yay.
See if we are actually live. It takes a little while for it to come up, so I always look at the chats on my iPad.
Okay.
Oh, my iPad's about to die. I need to plug it in. Um, so once I can see us on my device, then
Hello. Oh, there it is. I don't. I'm trying to do it on one. So and I remember I was on Winnie's live a while ago and it was a challenge. So bear with me.
to read out the chat.
Sure. Perfect. Oh no.
Am I looking a little
A
foggy?
little.
Okay.
I'll cross my fingers. Did we lose her? Okay. Okay, good.
But as long as they can hear me, I'll be okay.
Perfect.
I'm Marilla. Oh no, what's going on? Am I frozen? Are we unfrozen yet? I
Gotta
think we're
love
unfrozen now.
technology. Marilla says frozen.
Okay.
Hi, Jackie.
There, I see us now. Hey Jackie, how you doing? Can y'all hear me? We're good. Yay. Okay.
Yay.
Talk fast. Talk. I don't AT&T. I want to strangle them. I want to strangle them. Hello. Hello. MT Native. How you doing? Welcome in. Welcome in. Um, let's see. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that everything seems to be going okay. All righty. Hi, Bean Beauties. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. Today is a great day. Today I have David from David's Closet. Yay! David, can you tell everybody hello and then tell us how to get a hold of you on your channel, what's your channel about, and go from there.
Yeah, so my name is David and my channel is David's Closet. My Instagram is David's underscore closet underscore Lux. You can get a hold of me there or through YouTube in the comment sections on my videos. I primarily talk about handbags and accessories from a male point of view and on a budget. Lately, the budget's been out the window, but someday we'll get back to it. I just like to talk about bags, and I tend to collect bags that most people don't buy because I try to buy bags that are a little bit less expensive. So I'll buy some vintage bags that you don't see every day. So if you like that kind of thing, I'm here.
Yay. And that's I like that. So you're more like of a would you say that you're more of a contemporary um bag channel? Well, no, because you have lots of
Yeah.
LVs.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely more of the luxury, I feel.
Uh-huh.
My budget and my wallet wishes I was more contemporary. And I try to
Gotcha.
get into them and I think they're gorgeous, but I never use them. So I've tried to stop buying them
That's right.
because
Because
at
you
one point I had a shelf full of them that I never
right.
touched. So
And then you sold off a whole bunch of them, right? You put
I
them
did.
on yeah,
Yeah.
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 And he has a Poshmark. You have a Poshmark,
I
I think,
do.
right? Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And
Today
that's
was it today's video or yesterday's video that you did a little segment about all about selling on Poshmark and selling
that was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday.
yesterday?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so if y'all want to know about selling tips and the best strategies to buy or sell on the different platforms, check out his video from yesterday. It was a really, really good one.
Yes. I love the pre-loved market. So if you need tips and tricks or you're afraid of it, I can tell you it's not a scary place.
So you recently got, or you were talking about, I don't know if you recently got it, but you got that LV bag, the graffiti bag,
Yes.
but you
It's
got the
fresh.
LV one and then and then you've also got the Marc Jacob one. But how long
Yes.
did it take you to find the LV one?
Years. I started hunting for that probably 2019, 2020, and you can find them, in decent shape, but they were very expensive for the condition. And
Right.
one night, this one popped up. It looked brand new, and it does in real life also look brand new. And I think someone mismarked it, to be honest, on Fashion File. So I snagged it up as fast as I could because it
I would
was a hunt.
I wish I could find those deals. The problem is that I don't know enough about them to recognize them. And then two, it's like if I find those deals, it's like I have to ask somebody else, and while I'm asking somebody else, then they're lost. They're gone. They're gone. Yeah. So I'm like, and especially since I had a little episode with a Coach bag on eBay,
Oh yeah,
it's left me really skittish, to purchase. So
I
I'm like,
understand that for sure because
yeah.
that was I remember that video. That was hard to tell at first. So I can
Yeah,
see
it wasn't, now that I know what to look for, I'm like, oh yeah, I see it now, but I
exactly.
didn't know. And a lot of people like the C, like Caleb on the C, he saw that bar right away, and it like took me forever. I had to,
I didn't see it either until you
yeah,
pointed it out in the video, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh,
And I was like, wow, it's like your eye just doesn't see it, it
exactly.
doesn't see it. But let's see who's else is in here, who's jumped in. Bestie Sad. Okay. Melissa, are you in here? Is Birkin Boy in here? So you might have to do a little bit of work. Um we are just talking about those of you who are new to the live and to the channel. We are talking about handbags, pre-love market, just kind of that stuff. You're welcome to stay if you play nice. If you're not playing nice, my mod will not play nice as well too. Julie says Dee Dee has David and David's Closet on her channel. Yeah, yeah. Oh, she's telling the thing. Thank you, Julie. Thank you. Uh, Melissa's Corner says, I won't shop Japan or outside of the US. Yeah, it's definitely left me skittish doing that. Yeah, Marilla says, me either.
Now Ed
J-
Braun buys a lot from Japan, and he
he
gets some
does.
really good deals.
He
And
does.
he's also
And
really good at rehabbing them, which I'm too
yeah,
afraid to do. I'm afraid I'm
yeah.
going to ruin it. So,
Jackie says, I just got a bag from Australia. Woohoo! Too many fakes on these. Yeah. I have a video coming up from a bag from thing from Lithuania, but it's Birkin Boy approved, so I know it's okay. I know it's okay.
good.
Hi Monica K, welcome in. We if you're just new and coming in, for those of you who are not aware, this is David from David's Closet. I did link his channel above because what we are our main topic today, we're going to talk about several things, but our main topic today is going to be our journey to 1,000. And actually there's several of us who are very close, who are very close to hitting that 1,000. David's at, oh, I was going to go look. Did you know your number, David?
I think 9:30 something. I
Let's
could be
see.
wrong.
At David's Closet, let's see if he's close. David, why is it when you need something?
You
Oh,
can't.
yeah. You know what? I could click on your link. I can click your link
Oh,
and
it's
get there.
perfect.
Yeah. Um, maybe. Can I?
I'm
Okay.
afraid to click that.
Earlier I was barely touching it and it would take me there. Now that I want to be there, it's not taking me.
Of
But
course.
click the link. I don't know. Okay. We're gonna say 9:30. We think where he's at nine about 9:30 ish.
That sounds
So
good.
for those of you who don't know and aren't aware, is to get monetized on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. So I'm assuming you
Mhm.
got your watch hours already.
I'm so close on that too. So
Okay.
for those of you who maybe don't know, there's YouTube is a little bit weird and it's confusing when you're trying to figure out what the metrics are that you actually have to hit. So there's kind of two. The
Right.
first is 500 subscribers and I think 3,000 watch hours.
Yeah,
You're
something like that.
eligible to have a like subscription, which I'm not doing because I don't feel that I'm relevant enough for that. So I'm bypassing that and I'm going straight for the ads and things that all the others do. And I'm about 750 watch hours away, which is a lot,
Okay.
but it's my own fault because when I first started YouTube years and years ago, for some reason, and again, it's probably because I didn't understand, I only did one video every 2 weeks. So
Ah,
there
okay.
wasn't a lot of content to watch. So even if you watch every video, it's only maybe 4 hours.
Right.
So I've definitely tried to increase my volume there, and I see it growing every week now. So that's a good sign. There for a long time, it was kind of flat. But I think, and Ed also talked about it because he was kind of like me, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, and he'll call me out if I am, please. I think he hit the 1,000 subscribers before he had the watch hours too. So he was kind of in that space where he's waiting for the hours, and
Okay.
it seems like the more subs you have, the faster those hours come, which makes logical sense. But
And
we're
I'm
impatient.
actually like kind of backwards because I hit my watch hours way back like the end of October-ish or something like that.
Uh,
So I'm waiting for the subs, but
okay.
and I'm still maintaining my watch hours, but I was putting out a lot of content, like especially
Yeah.
during I think I hit my watch hours during because I did a vlogmas during Christmas. So
Mhm.
right before that, I hit that. So
Yeah.
that kind of helped. So yeah,
Sure.
so I have that. So I'm waiting on all y'all subbies to help me. I feel comfortable at 1,010. That's what more I do because I don't know if it happens to you, but we get yeah, like and I think a lot of that has to do because I was talking to some other content creators who've been around a little longer, is that I think some of it too is like YouTube's bots that come in and I guess they subscribe to
Yeah.
you and then they check your channel out. And then in fact, I just got a video that got pulled. It actually was my fakes video.
Oh
Um
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
They're really strict on that right now.
yeah, and I mean I was talking about my experience or whatever, but because I used the word fake in it, I
Hmm.
guess that's why. So I'm waiting for it just happened this morning, so I'm waiting for it to filter through so that I can
Appeal it.
right, appeal it. There you go. I was right, trying to think of the word
Yeah.
appeal it. But I'm
Yeah.
like, well, they're coming. They know that they're about ready to pay you something. So now they're paying attention to you.
Exactly. That's
Now
the
they're
thing
paying
that
attention.
really is unfun. I remember because I talked to a few other creators as well, and we talk about YouTube, obviously. It's our link together. And I don't remember when it happened. I want to say it was in the last like 10 months. They really cracked down on the F word, is what we
Right,
call it.
right,
And it's unfortunate for some creators like me and like your video, and I know I've seen a ton of other people do them. It's more like here's a warning, here's what to look for. I'm not
right,
promoting it because personally, and I think people can do with their own money what they want, and I have no
right,
judgment. I don't like them because I look at them and they don't give me the same happy because I know
right,
they came from a box, that was, crammed full of a bunch of other fakes, and it's just not my vibe. But I like to do videos where I talk about them. I do have a couple of
yeah,
them. We all do. And if you don't, you're probably lying.
yeah.
And I would love to do a comparison. I actually
Oh
have,
yeah,
and I bought one specifically for a comparison, but I can't post it. And it's
right,
not that I'm promoting the sale. I would never promote the sale of them.
yeah,
It's more like here's what you get and here's what to look for. And in my experience, this is why in my mind it's worth the extra money, which I understand is a lot extra. It's not a little, but
right,
it's worth it. Or I always tell people if you don't want to buy the $2,000 Fendi, go to Coach. You can get a bag under $500 that's real leather, excellent quality, honestly
yeah,
luxury quality. People can say Coach isn't luxury. I think it's luxury quality. And why would you spend, $400 on an F bag when
right.
you can spend 400 and get a real leather Coach bag?
Exactly, yeah, and the thing is they're making them so hard to tell, to tell and everything, the difference on them, the super fakes, the super Fs that they're calling now, but the thing is like on in my case, like, especially in that particular video, is the fact that, I like you said, I had some because there's actually 2 that I have on there. I need to go check the other one, because I had bought some Dooney, at the very beginning that I really didn't know what it's about. And then when I did that video, I was telling, what's the difference of them, how to tell, how to tell them. And it's like I know I had a lot of people saying, well, I didn't even know that, one, they didn't know to watch out for those. And then two, they didn't know how to tell the difference. So it's like it was kind of a learning thing as
Yeah.
well. And it's almost a disservice to do that. But
I agree.
I don't, it's a little hard, but I know I don't buy them even when I didn't have the money. Whenever I was I'm not spending more than $10 for a bag because that's the section I was in for a long, long time.
Sure.
Um, I would buy. I don't really one. I didn't really know too much about other ones, but I would just buy silhouettes that look similar. I wouldn't buy stuff
Sure.
that had the name on it because I'm like,
Yes.
not the real thing. But the silhouette, nobody owns a silhouette,
Yeah.
really.
It's more of a dupe, in my opinion. That's how I always
Yeah,
describe it, a
yeah,
dupe
yeah.
versus a fake.
Right.
And yeah, dupes, I actually have a couple of dupe bags, and there's one that I really want that I can't get my hands on for the Dior bag. If you've ever
Oh,
seen the viral Target bag that looks like the Dior book tote, it's
oh,
very
yes, yes, yes.
similar.
I have. Yes, yes.
Yes, I'm so mad because I want one and I can't find it.
You can't
But
find it.
I love a good dupe. But again, a dupe, in my opinion, is not trying to be something else. It's
Right.
just here's a similar vibe, enjoy it. Now, I
Exactly.
have before purchased dupes on Amazon, and I've gotten them, and they were flat out fakes. And I didn't know
Yeah.
that because in the
Oh, yeah.
pictures they just show, like a brown little checkered bag, and then you receive it, and it's the LV print. And you're like, okay, well, that's not
We don't
that's
want.
not what I was
That's
getting.
not what I wanted. Yeah, yeah.
Sadly. So
All right, let's see if anybody else has come into the chats. Hi, Sinise, how are you doing? Welcome back. Jackie says yes, coach is luxury. I agree.
yes,
MT Native says 100% get a coach over a non-coach, a non-luxury bag. Melissa says I agree, Jackie. Coach is 100% luxury, says Agent Bag Reviews. Yes, David. How are you enjoying your vintage Coach bags?
I
Said,
love
from Julie.
I love them, Julie. So, as I explained earlier, and I said this in a couple of my videos, I've stopped buying like any bag, for example, Coach bags, because I love them and they're so affordable compared to some of the others. I'm not saying they're cheap because they're not, trust me.
Right.
But compared to some of these others behind me, you can buy five for what one of those costs. And I wasn't using them. So I told myself what I want to do is like meticulously curate my collection. And I know Autumn Beckman did a couple of videos on it, curating versus collecting, things like
Right.
that. I kind of liked her take on it. And I thought, well, I like the vintage coach more than anything. And it's fun because you can hunt it down.
Yeah.
For most coach bags, you can walk into, a boutique or an outlet and you can get them, or you can go online and find them. And I'm not saying all, but most. Well, these you have to hunt for them,
Right.
and you have to hunt for good ones, and it's fun. There's a thrill. And if you saw my video with my first Willis bag where there was a little surprise in the pocket, that was funny. You don't get that anywhere else, and that to me was really great.
It
um,
happens to me all the time.
I love that. I was so shocked because I'd never seen it, but it was a great story, and I'm glad it happened so I can have the story. But no, I love the vintage. The court bag is my favorite. And I mentioned before, I love the Coach Cassie, which is now discontinued, but of
Right.
course, it's basically the Pochette Métis from Louis Vuitton, but it's all leather and it costs what the tax costs on a Louis Vuitton. And I love that bag. And the court is basically the old version of
Right.
that.
Ah,
So
okay.
I adore
I'm
those.
sort of I'm sort of hunting like what people are saying, the original Cassie, the larger Cassie, because I've never seen it. That was definitely before my time,
Yeah,
so I have never even seen it. So I need to go back and watch some videos
yeah.
on it.
I have one. Let me go grab it real fast.
Okay, cool. While he's doing that, I'm gonna come in. Melissa has her questions, so I'll ask that, Melissa. I promise I will. Marilla says she loves Coach. Marilla says exactly, Julie, 100%. She agrees with you. Let me see if there's anybody thing I missed up at the top. Australia. Okay, you're back. Okay. I was just trying to go through the chat. So
No, you're good.
you
I'm trying to
have
read it too. So
okay.
here's the Cassie. If you've never seen a lot
Is
of
that
videos on it.
Is that the regular that's the
Yep.
bigger size? Because I have
Yep.
the 19.
Yep.
Okay.
This is the original full size that they for some reason discontinued, and I have no idea why. But I love it because it's very Pochette Matisse like, the way it's, the three compartments and the way it's gusseted. So I don't know. I love this bag, and this is one Coach bag I will obviously never let go. So
I wonder if they discontinue it because I wonder if if maybe LV said something like it's too close
maybe
to theirs or something, who
it's
who knows?
possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. But that's when I scored mine actually when they discontinued them. They were half off. So it was
Oh,
250.
okay.
So that's when I snagged
Nice.
it up because
Yeah,
you
nice.
can't beat it for $250. So
Not at all. So, David, how long have you been on YouTube?
I believe I'm approaching my third year.
Third year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now my
And
first year I was basically what I call a secret agent because I didn't want anyone to know I was doing this because,
the
it's
hands.
yes, it
You're
is
this.
embarrassing. Yes. So the first year, like I said earlier, I really didn't do a lot of videos and I didn't really share because what if someone saw me, Like what? So yeah, 3 years.
And
How about you?
I hit my year mark in April the 25th. Right, April
Awesome.
25th. Yeah. So I
That's
hit my
awesome.
year mark in April 25th. Yeah. So yeah, I think for me what happened is the fact that I fell into some groups. I got into groups, like the thrifting group, the reselling group, like the Discord, Caleb's Discord,
Mhm.
Jacob's Discord. And those were things that I was watching before I got on YouTube, and those were things
Sure.
I was doing anyway. So I had a little, bit of rapport there. So when I came on, it helped a little bit to do that, But
Sure.
and so you had something kind of built in, I guess, that helped.
Yeah.
Also, too, I do think that there was a shift in YouTube putting out for a while there. There was a because the larger content creators were saying that they're not weren't getting pushed out as much,
Mhm.
and my channel was, and so I think that there was a shift for a little while where the smaller channels over the 500 channels were getting pushed out more. That's what I suspect because
Yeah.
I went from not being to now it's like all, and how I could tell is because there was these people, like, there were people that I had no idea. They weren't
Sure.
like watch something else that I watched or whatever. They would say that, oh, I came across this or what have you. But what have you found? When did you really think at what number did you really think, hey, I could get to 1,000? I'm like, there.
Yeah, so for me, that was probably the 500 mark. And
Okay.
I hit that around Thanksgiving, I believe, last year. It could have been around Christmas, somewhere in that time
Right.
span. And what really helped me, to be honest, is my channel was kind of stuck at the 200 mark for a very long time. I reached out to, I had done a few collabs with Coach Jean and then Ed Braun. And Ed Braun is, if you don't know him, he's amazing and he's super, super kind and he has a big heart. And he helped introduce me to a lot of the other creators that he had reached out to and he'd become friends with. And, I was able to get to not only, you know, work with them as far as any collaborations or anything, but also get to know them as people, which was really nice to really get to know
Yeah.
them and truly call them friends, which I think is great. But then, by doing collabs with them, and they're super supportive. Everyone I've met and everyone I've reached out to has always been supportive. I went from, let's just say 200 to 500 in the course of a month, which to some might sound very small, but for
Oh,
me,
that's a big
being
jump. Yeah.
exactly being 2 years in and still being
Yeah.
at, 200, it was a big
Right.
jump. And, I started interacting more with my subscribers in the comments because that's something that before I wasn't really sure, is it
Yeah.
worth it, do you really need to take the time, do people actually care, because I didn't know. I'm not someone who ever commented on other people's videos before, and
Yeah.
I know a lot of people probably think I don't watch. I do. I just never commented in the past because I didn't know the importance of it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I would say that also really helped, just interacting with the people. And you see names now, and I even see them here in the comments here, and I'm like, I know that person. I see them every
Right. It
video.
makes a
Commenting.
difference every
Yeah,
video.
it
Yeah.
really does because you can connect with them. So that's probably around the time I thought I can do this. But then I got very ambitious and thought, I can do this by the end of the year. No, that didn't happen. So I got a little too ambitious, but it's okay because we're back on
That's
track
right.
and we're
And
almost
you're
there.
further off. Yeah, you're further along. Let's see what the chats are saying. Melissa. Okay, Melissa wants to know, do you know your bag count? Do you know your number?
Do I know my count? That's so funny. Oh, if Winnie was here, she'd be having a heyday over
I
that.
know
I wish
exactly.
she was here. So I actually count. Okay, so I'm weird, and I have one of our spare bedrooms I've converted into my bag room and YouTube studio. And I come in here and I'll sit here for hours on the floor and just look around, kind of organize things, listen to music, watch videos while I do it. Um, I believe I have 35, which
Okay.
for
Which is
me feels
down.
like a lot, but
Yeah.
then I hear other people talk about theirs and it's not. So it
And
depends
it's not
on, how you're looking at it.
where you're looking at it, yeah. And
Yeah.
you've downsized because you had like earlier in the year you
Yeah.
had more, so you've
Oh yeah.
downsized a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went through my Poshmark and counted, and over the last, 18 months or so, I have gotten rid of about 20
Wow,
contemporary
wow.
bags. So I've
Okay.
definitely downsized that.
Yeah.
And it dawned on me when I moved into this room from my actual closet, because I had outgrown that space. I filled all my shelves and they were full. And I'm like, this is
Yeah,
this
I
is a
remember
full size
you had them all
bedroom.
lined up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, this
yeah,
is not a small room. This is too much. And that's when I really started looking, what am I carrying? What am I using? And primarily, unfortunately, for my wallet, it's my contemporary bag. So I, decided I have to let them go. So I
yeah.
let a lot of them go.
You let
Now,
it go.
there is one luxury bag I thought I wanted to let go, and I'm so glad I didn't because I used it last week and I fell in love with it again. So,
Isn't that funny how sometimes you're thinking, I really haven't picked this up. I don't really like it. And then you pick it up and you're like all over again. You're all into it all over again.
yep,
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. I love how
Um,
Jackie says we don't count. I love
yes.
that.
We don't count. When
No,
you're over a certain number, we don't count. Like I don't
that's
count.
true. That's
Yeah,
true.
she
Now,
also said earlier she said, that coach yeah, and I remember that the coach, did the bag, the court bag before the
we did.
Matisse bag. Yeah, and I remember Autumn's talking about that
Mhm,
in her thing.
definitely.
And Jackie says she loves the original Cassie. Marilla says doing hard labor right now with the two chats. Yeah, apparently there's another live going on right now.
Oh
So
no.
yeah, so it was a mix up. Melissa Missy reached out to me. It's her and uh Yota and Cami, but she
Oh,
reached
okay.
out to me. She didn't realize that you and I had scheduled this at the beginning of the month.
Sure.
So she reached out. And I said, "Well, it's bound to happen. It's bound to
It
happen." So
is. It is. And I'm sure they're having fun over there. That's a fun
I'm
crowd.
sure. Yeah, so that's okay. We're having fun over here
We
too. Don't
are. Of
worry. Don't
course we
worry.
are.
And then and also too we'll have on the replay we have replay beauties, and so I'm sure they'll catch the replay.
Of
Hi
course.
Finding Solace, welcome in. Thank you very much for coming. We might need you. We did see a little bit of activity earlier, but they seem to be playing nice. Totally agree. Coach has its own unique character. Yes. Jackie, so Native James is giving me a look at each new box. Yeah. Uh-oh. Because Native says that her husband counts. Her
Um,
husband counts. Yeah.
so does
Um,
mine. Every time a box comes, I have to hide it. And oh, it was a good deal. And he used to believe me until he started like he downloaded the Fashion File app just for fun one
whoop,
day. He's like, "There's no way you only pay $200 for that." I'm like, "Well, maybe."
maybe. Hi, Sandy Varty. Varty. Hi, Sandy. How are you doing? Welcome in. I'm with you. She says, I'm with you, Jackie. I have no idea how many I have. It's more fun not to know, not to know. Finding Solace says, hi, baby. Hi, David. We're neighbors. Y'all are neighbors, like in real life?
Oh, I
Or
didn't know. Yes, yes.
she must live
Yeah,
close.
she probably lives here in the metro. There's actually a lot of people who live here that I didn't know. And speaking on that, if you don't mind, I'll say something really fun.
Sure.
Agent Bag Review, Julie from Agent Bag Review, actually lives in the same city, and I think even zip code maybe that I live in. And it's so
Wow.
funny when I found out I was on Facebook, and I think I had just added or been added by Devin Christopher, and it showed a common friend, and I'm like, oh, that's that YouTube person.
Oh,
I'm like, let
yeah.
me click it and see. And we are the same person, and she knows, and it's wonderful. She's a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent. We were at the same
Oh,
brokerage. Like it was twins. We went to the same college, so it's so
wow.
fun. And
It's y'all probably were in the same place at the same time and y'all just didn't know it.
several times, yes, for sure, most definitely. So,
Let me see if I what questions I have. We've had some of them already. I have my question. I'm not sure if you watched my lives before, but I like to ask,
Yeah.
and I always kind of put this on here: is are you an introvert or an extrovert?
Okay, so this is a question that I've been asked before, like in interviews, and
Okay,
my instant reaction is to tell you I'm an introvert.
okay.
Because in some areas of my life, I am. Like, I don't like to go to large crowds. I don't go to concerts, even though I'd love to see Taylor. I won't go. Too many people. But I think realistically, I'm an extrovert. I like to talk to people. I might be a little shy at first, and I just have to push through it, and then I won't shut up. So I
Well, see,
definitely think,
but I think you're answering it correctly because it's what is innately your innateness because we learn to overcome it because unfortunately the world we live in, it's an extroverted world. And if you're an introvert living in an extroverted world, it's difficult. It's really difficult. And the reason I started asking the question was because it gives me an insight into the person, the person one. But I did kind of a lot of studies when I was going through my classes at Oblate, and that was one of the things is how you approach people, how people, how you talk to people, how you kind of help people. And
yeah,
so a lot of people, and that's how, like with me, like if we were going to a room, like with me, it's hard for me for a like if I meet a new person, not to say hello. Or is that for an introvert, it's hard for them to say hello. They'll be waiting for the other person to say
yeah,
hello or that. So that's kind of one of the signs. And it's just a matter, and I really kind of just bring it up because it's one of those things that just helps each other out, help
sure,
each other out to know people. And also too, it helps. I found that so many people that I'm like, I'm really not sure if they're an introvert or extrovert. YouTube has made them extroverted, at least on their channel, and then
sure,
has helped in their life.
sure.
So do you find that?
I definitely do. And as you were speaking, I was kind of, thinking I definitely can link it even back to my channel's growth. I was definitely a lot more extroverted in the beginning. As I kind of explained earlier, I didn't tell family or friends that I was doing this. Even like the creators that I now am friends with, like Ed Braun, Winnie,
Yeah.
Dawn, Eva, Autumn, Agent Bag Review, all these people, I would see them and I would want to comment and be like, hey, I'm doing this too, but I didn't want them to know. I didn't want them to
Yeah.
respond. What if they
Yeah.
responded to
What
me?
if they
Now I have,
respond? What if yeah.
yes, now I have to say like, oh, we're humans. Let's talk. And it was so weird because looking back on it now that especially now that I know all of these people and like, like I said, even outside
Because
of
now they're
YouTube,
your
I
friends,
consider
you
them friends.
right, yeah.
And, I'm like, why was I so silly? And, why wasn't I talking to these people? It's
Well,
crazy. And
yeah.
the first one I ever spoke to was actually Coach Jean. And our
Okay.
channels were both really small at the time. I think we were probably comparable. And I remember I sat with my Instagram and I was typing a DM to do a collab, asking him if he would do one with me. And I was so scared. I just sat there with my phone. I'm like, what do I do? What if he responds? If he responds, I have to say yes because I'm asking him, like, what's
Right,
going to
right.
happen? And I mean, even when you messaged me and asked me to join your live, I was kind of like, oh no, a
Now
live?
now what am I supposed to do? Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's hard. And that's one of the things too is that because going back to the topic about trying to get to 1,000, there's so many, people. Hi, Latina. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. Um, a lot of people say, "Well, I'm introvert. I can't do that." It doesn't mean that it's any easier for me as an extrovert. I want to say 99% of my collabs that I have done, I have asked and reached out.
sure.
But that's also hard because sometimes I'll see other people collaborate. I'm thinking, well, why isn't anybody asking me? I do it because I was like, okay, I want to grow my channel.
Sure.
I wanted to get to know these people. I wanted to do that. So I knew that innately somehow I figured collabing was the way to do it to grow my channel, and that was
Yeah.
really one of the biggest things that helped.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so I did that. So I asked people, and I have had a few people say no or say they'll think about it and then never get back to me or whatever. And it does, we're like, well, what's wrong with me? And then they'll go do a collab with somebody else. So just because you're an extrovert versus an introvert, it doesn't mean that you don't have feelings or it doesn't mean that you don't have those same insecurities. It's
Sure.
just that initially, innately, you kind of ignore those easier than maybe somebody who's an introvert. My
Yes.
husband's very, very introverted. He's very introverted, and he has a job that he has to talk a lot and be in front of executives and the big people and all this kind
Mhm.
of stuff. So when he comes home, the first like hour that he's home, there's no talking, except for what do you want for dinner, order something for dinner, and he'll tell me, I put my order in because he has to decompress. And it's so hard because I'm sitting here and then sometimes I'm going, I want to talk to a human being.
Right. No, I get you. I get that a lot.
I
And it's
want,
always funny because I feel like opposites attract because my husband is
yes.
also an extrovert. And again,
Okay.
it's probably because of his job. He, just he has to. And
Right.
it's funny because I've had to, as we kind of explained, teach myself not to be because
Yes.
my full-time job, I can't be. I have to interact with a lot of people and there's a lot of executive staff. I work in HR. You have to be able to be a human in order to do it.
Yeah.
And as a real estate agent, of course, you're reaching out to strangers all the
Yeah.
time.
That's
I'm reaching out
amazing.
to other agents, I'm reaching out to clients, I'm reaching out to all these things, and the first couple times it was terrifying. But even my husband says sometimes, like if I'm working a deal, I'll answer the phone, talk to the listing agent, and I hang up and he looks at me and he's like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "You make me order the food at a restaurant sometimes." But then he's like, "You just did all of that." And it was like, he's like, "You acted like you knew what you were talking about,
Yeah.
even if I didn't." I'm like, "Well, you
Yeah.
gotta,
But
you
it
can't
but if
share."
something changes in your mind because I wasn't going you're crazy. If something changes in your mind because it switches,
Yep,
because you go into that mode of I have to do this because it's my job,
yep,
and that's the same mode that an extrovert is in all the time. It's like, okay, I've got to do it. Because it's kind of like there's been times where volunteer, because I used to do a lot of volunteer work. I'd sit there and I'd wait for somebody else, and it's like, okay, I knew that it was something that was important to be done, needed to be done. Nobody would step up and do it. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Well,
yep,
then as soon as I say I would do it, then you have 10 other people, would say they'll do it. It's like, but they were just waiting for somebody else to say yeah. And I'm like,
yep.
hello, I didn't need to do it then. I didn't need to do
Definitely,
it.
definitely. And I
Let's
think
see.
YouTube helps with that because when you're filming a video, though, and I think if you look at anyone's videos, if you watch the first couple, you're like, "Oh yeah,
Yes.
they were
Yes.
nervous,"
It was
and I
like,
need to hide
ooh,
my first couple because they were bad. But you really do kind of flex that muscle because while you're filming, no one is there. And like I
yeah.
won't even let my husband be upstairs. He has to go to our basement living room when I film. Like I don't want anyone to hear when I'm filming because if I decide not to post it, no one sees it.
No one knows it. Yeah. Well, and here's the difference is on my live, if my husband or my brother are walking around, I'm talking to 'em and I'm on the live, I don't have a problem if they hear. But if I'm recording something, I don't like them to be close or to hear.
Yeah.
I get nervous or I like get irritated. I was like, okay, just because I was filming right here in our kitchen area before I got into my studio that I call my studio. I was filming here, so they would walk by or whatever. And it was hard because I could hear them in the hallway. I would lose track, I would lose
Uh-huh.
because I didn't want them to hear me when I was recording, but like when they come in and out when I'm on live, it doesn't bother me because I'm flexing two different muscles, two
Uh-huh.
different
Exactly.
sides of myself. Yeah. I'm a lot more conscious of myself and I'm a lot harder on myself in when I'm recording a video than I am when I'm just here because I feel like we're just chit-chatting. Yeah.
Yes.
People say it's an interview or whatever, and I guess technically it is, but I feel like, you're in my living room with me talking to me. That's how I
Exactly.
feel.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
It's like a
Let's
phone
see.
call.
Hi, 5 foot nothing. Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. It must be because she's in Australia, so she's are you just waking up? Are you just waking up? Let's see. Denim Chanel. Sorry, I've just woken up. Haven't even had enough coffee. Yep, she's just woken up. Um, Yeah, it's early morning. Oh my goodness. Yes. Hi, Blingy Bacon. How are you doing? Her too. She's on the other side of the world. Yay. I like that when I'm a little later at night to do that. But it's so
Sure.
hard because there's so many content creators now on there. And I
Yes.
know like I'm watching kind of watching the clock because I want to be respectful of those who came before me. And Like
Sure.
Caleb comes on at 7, and so I just want to make sure that
Sure.
you know, we are there and respectful for that. But I know
Absolutely.
those of us who that's one of the things where people because people have kind of said, well, hey, your channel's growing quick or whatever. And I guess I mean, well, not I guess, I mean, it is because
Sure.
Caleb and Zane have said, "Dee Dee, your channel is growing quickly, and it's organically. I haven't done any of the other stuff that, you know, you can do to hire, you know, all those
Yeah.
SEO people that are constantly
Yeah.
wanting you to pay them, you know, I haven't
Yeah.
done any of that."
Yeah. Same.
Um, and but it's hard work. It's a lot of work. So it's like if you
Yes.
want your channel to grow and if you want to get to be and I won't say get known, like, I don't wanna be known in the fact where, "Look at me," but at least my channel to be out there, you
Sure.
have to put
Absolutely.
some effort into it. It's not
You
that it's
do.
just gonna happen. So
It's not
did
easy.
you find a big difference when you were doing every other week versus every week or a couple
Oh,
times a
yeah.
week? 'Cause,
Oh,
there
yeah.
was a time too you were only doing you went to once a week, but now
Yep.
you're doing a couple, right?
Yeah. So I have changed it a lot. So when I very first started, it was every other week, so 2 videos a month, and that was partially because I pretty much started collecting around that time. I didn't
Okay.
have a lot, so and I can't afford to buy a bag every week, even though lately I've been bad and my unbox every day. I can't afford to do that, so I was like, well, that's a way to space out my videos, and as I started to meet some of the other creators and kind of learn, advice from them because they've been doing this for a long time, and some of them, well, all of them are very successful at it. And I was like, well, I need to do more videos, and that's something for like the watch count or the hour count
Right,
things.
right.
So I was like, well, I'll do once a week. I think I can maintain that because and everyone has a lot going on, but I have a full-time job and a part-time job that sometimes is a full-time job too.
Yeah,
So I didn't want to overcommit and disappoint. So I'm like, once a week I can manage, on a weekend I can film a couple videos, have them ready to go. But then my watch hours still weren't growing enough.
yeah,
So that's when I decided to do Saturday and Wednesday.
yeah,
But as things have ramped up at my full-time job, we have a lot of projects going on, and I'm in the process of working with a client, selling and buying their home. I have a lot going on again. So now I'm back to every Saturday and every other Wednesday.
yeah.
So that way
Well,
it's a little bit less stressful.
yeah, and one of the things, because I have I'm not sure if you're aware, I have rheumatoid arthritis, so I have autoimmune immune disease, so my health really goes up and down. And so during
Sure.
the summer, this past summer, last year, 2023, I was like sick for like 2.5, almost 3 months.
Wow.
I knew going into it, I thought, okay, if I'm gonna be committed to this channel and wanting to do this, I know that I'm gonna need to have a different strategy. So
Sure.
I knew I was gonna need to record ahead of time. And the reason I got on, there was two reasons. I mean, the first reason is my husband goes, uh, I had a mountain. I don't one of my very first videos is there's a mountain of boxes from shopgoodwill.com because I was watching Caleb Snell and he was telling us about shopgoodwill.com. And so I'm sitting there shopping and like all of these boxes came in and everything. And he says, he really doesn't care, but he's like, if you're gonna do that, get on YouTube and tell them I don't want to hear about your bags.
Exactly.
God, he goes, I know nothing about your bags. Please, can you tell somebody else? And so that was really like one of the things. He goes, shop all you want, just don't talk to me about it. So that was why
Doing something.
initially I used to say, we don't talk about shopping. No, no, no. Because
I
he just
respect.
didn't want to hear it. He goes, shop, do whatever, but talk to somebody else.
I love
But
that.
so I did bulk filming, and that's how I do it. Like right now, I'm kind of behind on bulk filming, but
Mhm.
what because I had so many that I had that need to be edited. So when I was sick, I could sit in bed for those 2 months and I was editing
Sure.
and putting up the video. So anything that I could do with my hands or I could do sitting down in my bed, that helped. But that has helped a lot with keeping the content. And then as I got what I did is as I would collab with people, those were the fresher ones that I was using. And then you would pop those in and then just
Yep.
move your schedule around because then it's easier because you have content there, you know, to move around, to move that. But
Definitely.
yeah. And yeah, mine's make no bones about it. I'm definitely an unboxing channel, not for the numbers, not for anything. It's because I shop too much.
I
I
get
love
it.
to
I get
shop.
it. No shame. There should be no shame here.
I was
But
like,
no,
you
I
know,
liked your strategy because I kind of do the same thing with the book filming
yeah,
because of course, since I work, during the day I'm gone, and then sometimes I have showings at nights on weekends. So when I have time, I try to do as much as I can. That way I can keep up with my channel. Because like you said, my
exactly.
strategy wasn't working. I do need to dedicate more time because, and I don't, anyone can disagree with us, but YouTube is a job. I don't care if you're
Yeah,
getting paid or not. It's a lot
right,
of work to
right.
film,
Whether it's
prep,
a hobby or
edit.
not, yes,
Yes, it's
yeah,
a lot of work. And so that's what I do. But then sometimes, of course, you get invited to do collabs or things come out or collections come out, like the Marc Jacobs bag came
yeah.
out suddenly. Well, I didn't want to film it. And then, because right now I'm actually scheduled out till August. And I'm like, well, I can't post this in August. Like, it's irrelevant in
It's relevant
August.
now. Yeah, so you just move your
So,
stuff around. Yeah.
exactly. And I wanted to be the first one. And I'm going to say that I was because I didn't see any other videos on YouTube until mine went up. So I'm going to take that
I
credit.
think you were, because I saw a few, like, right afterwards. I did
Uh-huh.
see a couple right
Yeah.
afterwards. I know Veronica Sid had one really close right
Mhm.
after, and, I forgot who else was the other one. I actually had that bag, like, I could have bought that bag. I had it in my cart,
Yep.
but I'm and you and I talked about it a little bit, was the fact that it's just that was where I was able to be level-headed. I love the stain on it.
Sure.
It's really why I wanted it. So I love the saying on it, because it's pulled from the prayer, and I wanted that saying on it. But I was like, I'm not going to use that bag. I have my Marc Jacobs bags and I have the smalls, and those are perfect. In fact, I've
Yep.
been trying to hunt a mini, but they don't have the mini in the denim. They didn't have the mini in the red. They have them in the colors
Mhm.
that I don't want.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting here going, I'm not going to use the medium. So it's going to sit there, and I have a couple other little layways that are I've been working on. I'm like, okay, you buy that, then you won't have money for this, and
True.
so I was really good, but I have to tell you, when I started seeing all the unboxings, I was like, I should have got it, but yeah, yeah, but no, whenever you said the same thing, when you said the same thing about the fact, because your husband's actually using it, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
you
he
said
bought mhm.
you like the small, so really it's his
Yes.
bag. And
Sure.
I was like, okay, I felt a little bit better. I was like, okay, okay,
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how I justify it too. Currently, it's sitting right here, but it's his if he ever wants it. He knows
right.
not to touch the others, but that one he can
It's over
touch.
there. It's over there.
But yeah, the book filming, the problem I have with it, and I did it because I wasn't thinking. That Wednesday, I dropped 2 videos because I was trying to edit that one so fast to get it
Oh
out. Because
yeah,
I got
yeah.
the bag on Wednesday. So I literally filmed it after work and then sat down and started editing. So I had 2 videos come out on the same day. And then I don't know if
Oh,
you've ever done this, but I do
I
it a lot where I'll book film and then, like, I'll get an unboxing. And in the background is a bag that I've unboxed that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I
yeah.
try to
I think
I just
everybody's done that. It's like ignore and you know what? That's when you find out who really
pays
has
attention.
that eye. Yeah. Because then I'll get emails or I'll get Instagrams. It's like, hey, where's that box? Have you done that video? And I was like, it's coming up next week or whatever. Sneak peek, sneak peek. And
Yes.
the viewers like it. So let's see. Jackie says that she saw David's first with the MJ tote. Um, Safe space, Dee Dee. What safe space? What are we talking about? Winnie's here. Hi, welcome in, Winnie. Welcome in.
Hey, Fanny. You should have
She
been here
says
earlier. We talked about counts.
I did. Melissa wanted to know what his count was, what his number was, and it dawned something on him saying Winnie would have a different take on that. Um, Blingy Bacon. Melissa, why were you saying safe space? I'm not sure. Thumb up the video, guys, please. Yes, please. Thank you. Thumb up the live. Woo! I have 13 watching and 13 thumbs up. Woohoo! All right, let's see. Have y'all been subscribing to David? We need to let me go see if I can go see his numbers. I don't know why I was having trouble finding your channel. I want to see if your numbers went up anymore because we want him. David's closet.
We'll blame YouTube for not being able to find it because actually, just the last night, I was watching Birkin Boys live for a few
Uh huh.
minutes. Because I always miss lives, but I caught it, and it told me at the top the little subscribe button was red, and I'm like, I know I've been subscribed to Craig. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on? So YouTube is crazy.
They are crazy. Who was it? Somebody couldn't get into my live one time, and I was like, I said I didn't block you. 929 is where you have. We didn't really get to look. So okay, y'all,
That's
if y'all are not currently subscribed to David, please feel free and subscribe to him. We'd greatly appreciate it. Let's try by the end of this live, let's try to at least get, 3 or 4 more on there.
yeah,
Let's
please. And
try to get a little bit more.
then, yeah,
Bag count or body count?
both Winnie. Both.
Both probably. 5 foot nothing says exactly. YouTube is doing strange things.
Yes.
They do have updates every so often. And the reason I know that they have updates is because my iPad does funny different things. And I can't tell on my cell phone because on my cell phone, their updates um, cycle really quickly. But when they do updates on my iPad, because YouTube, Google hates Apple and they hate the iPad.
Of course.
So it's always the last thing to get done. So I always know I'm like, oh, and then it'll tell me I have to re-download or re-update the new
Yeah,
version. So
of
that's
course.
why I know that there was an update. Yeah.
Definitely.
And it does. So then I know like, oh, they just did something. And then I'll go in there. I'm like, I can't find how to do this, people. How to do this?
Well, that's just like you
Um,
said earlier. Sometimes your count will go up and down. Like
yes.
I remember when I broke over 900, I was so excited because I'm like, ooh, 100 away. And then I went back the next day and it was like 894. And I'm like,
Yeah, I
ow.
know. I'm like, "Oh." And then some of that too is like, when if you do lives, like I see that sometimes is like trolls. I don't usually have mine on where you have to be a subscriber
Yeah,
to do it. I don't usually have mine on there, but because I record, I mean, I do lives usually earlier during the day, so I don't have that kind of issue too much.
sure.
But earlier when we went back on live, it was kind of crazy. Was
Yeah.
kind of crazy. I was like, "Oh no!" But so David, what is your favorite fashion house?
So that's a really tough question because it changes all the time. And I actually am preparing a video on it, so I'll kind of give some insight. My instinct is Prada. I'm gonna say Prada. I love Prada. Prada was the first house I ever remember falling in love with. My technically my second, but my first actually no, my first luxury bag was Prada. And I don't know, I think they're beautiful and I think that they're classic. And as a general rule, they are not super flashy logo mania bags. And I love a
Okay.
logo, obviously Goyard,
Yeah.
LV, but I like how Prada is just quiet. And I know they have some loud bags, but overall it's pretty quiet.
Right.
But then I look around at my bag room and I'm like, okay, well, what do I have the most of? Because you would think if I love Prada the most, I'm going to have more Prada bags.
And you don't.
I don't. Louis Vuitton is what I have the most of.
Yeah.
And as I was kind of thinking, why? Because that's weird to me. It's because Prada bags are so expensive. Louis
Yeah.
Vuitton bags are actually way more affordable. And I only have two of my Prada bags I bought new. The rest I buy pre-loved, and sometimes they're a little rough to get them in the price point I
Okay,
want.
that's what I was just gonna say. I said because it's easier for me. It's been easier to find Louis Vuitton bags on the resale market in a much decent condition than to find a Prada bag. Either they're really good condition, they're expensive,
Uh,
or if they're affordable, they're like in crappy
yes.
condition.
Yeah.
5 foot nothing says 930. She subscribed. Yay!
Yay!
Woohoo!
Thank
Thank you, 5
you.
foot nothing. Woohoo!
Thank you.
David, please show us your cat more often in your videos too. They want to see your cat more.
If she didn't hate me, I would, but she hates me. And I am the spare human. Only when she search, if I'm home alone, she will search the whole house. Meow, she'll walk all over the place. Takes her a good hour and a half, and then she'll come to me and say, well, I guess you're the only one
You're the
here.
only one here.
So I'll
Yeah.
sit near you, not on you. No, 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 don't
Yeah.
get it wrong. I'll sit beside you and don't touch
Yeah.
me, but look at me.
And what's hilarious is during the daytime, our cat Spot, I don't know if y'all might have seen her. She would jump on the table when I would be filming. During the day, she wants nothing to do with me. If you go try to pet her, she acts like you're gonna beat her. But at
Uh-huh.
night, once it gets dark, then she wants to be loving you and everything. And it's like I'm like, who are you? It's like she's a split personality.
Yep. That's
Jackie says I just bought my first. Coach Topia bag today. I am the most surprised. Oh, really? You'll have to tell me about that. I'm glad you made the jump first because I have some such mixed feelings about the Coach Topia line. I was
Same.
really disappointed with that. But you'll have to tell me what you have to tell us what's doing. Winnie B says, I'm about to take a YouTube break. Oh, Winnie, we need to hear about that on
Yeah.
live. Like, oh no. Finding Solace says, heck yes. Bank count is lower than my body count. Ah, me too, me too. Um, 5 foot nothing says, I hate that I lost 5 overnight. Yeah. And sometimes those are okay. What I also found out is the SEO people who and the SEO is, that they want you to hire them to help your channel, help your channel grow or whatever. But they subscribe to you because I think if they subscribe, they can get all the details and stuff.
Hmm.
So I have had like three. I've lost three overnight. I was like
Yeah.
devastated because I was a
Well,
smaller channel. I was like, oh my god.
yeah.
But then the next day after that, I got three emails, and I'm like,
Yep.
oh, that's when I thought that's what it is.
I've
Yeah.
seen that. And those emails are creepy, by the way, because they'll screenshot your message, your video as it's
Yes.
playing.
Yes.
So you have a screenshot of you on a video, and then they'll like put bubbles around the things. And it's funny because first off, I personally wouldn't hire them because I don't know. And
Right.
my degree's in marketing, so I actually should be good at search engine optimization, but I'm not
There's
apparently.
there. That's the
But
language.
yep. But I'm like, it's creepy. I'm like, don't send me screenshots of me. Like, no. It'd be like someone taking pictures through your window and sending them to
Yeah.
you. Like,
I love the ones where I have got some where say, "Dear sir," I'm like, no, not a sir.
hello.
You obviously weren't watching my video.
Right, very true.
Uh, Jackie says, I have to not look the Eski, yeah, people. Yep. The videos are great. It's the social game that's about to have me quit. Oh, Winnie, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going
Yay.
on. That's actually the second time that you have said that. You said something last night, and I'm sorry. I don't have no idea what's going on, but I'm so sorry. I hope that everything kind of works out. Um, my self-appointed VP Latina says, I am always in and out of all chats. Forgive me for not saying hi. Jackie, Winnie, MT, Marilla, Bling, Splicey, Julie, Sandy, Monica, Denise, Joaquin, besties to all. Oh, that's okay. Hey, as long as you're here somehow, we love it. We love it. 5 foot nothing says, oh no, Winnie. Melissa says, oh no, YouTube drama. Good grief. That always reminds me of Charlie Brown. Good grief. Or actually, it's Lucy telling Charlie Brown, good grief. Oh, I think my
Yeah.
Dooney and Burke bag's here. Um, that's such a shame. It is. You have a great personality. When you just
She does.
don't let it get you down. I have to look at things at how much of this is worth your breath. How much of it is worth your circle? Just keep your head down and push through. I'm not letting anybody else win. So that's where
Well,
I
you're
am.
being mean to Winnie because we need to show him who's boss. Like, why would you be mean to someone so sweet?
Melissa says, I don't hear any of the drama, LOL. I don't hear any of the drama either. I watch stuff and I'm like, I wonder what's going on. I'm like, do I really want to know? I don't want to know.
No.
I don't want to be in the drama. I don't want to be in the drama. Jackie says, okay, I read that one. Finding Solace says, Winnie will support you no matter what you decide. Yes, ma'am. Melissa says, Coach Topia, I'm intrigued. Winnie says, thank you. I'm just caught off guard today. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Winnie. You have had a rough couple of weeks with the people in your chat saying stuff
Mhm.
and like that's one of the things. That's like what I was saying earlier about being an extrovert and people not thinking about you or not thinking that that it's not hard for you to ask people to collab and you don't actually get asked or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard because when you have a personality like you have and like I have, and you have that outgoing extrovert personality, people don't it's somehow they think you don't have feelings.
Yeah.
And so I'm really sorry about that. So I hope it
Let's
works
all
better.
take a moment and snaps for Winnie because Winnie's great. I
Yeah.
love Winnie.
Jackie says, Dee Dee, I showed you. Oh, was that a Coach Topia bag? I didn't know that. I couldn't make it bigger. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to go look at it closer. I think I was also trying to get ready for the lives. I was putting makeup on, so,
There's a
um,
Topia bag that my husband found, and he says he wants it, but I haven't bought it for because he doesn't carry bags. Like once every 6 months, he'll pull one out. So I don't like to buy them because they're just gonna sit.
yeah.
And it's a barrel bag, and it's like a fuchsia pink, and then like an orange handle and trim. It's cute, but what's he gonna do with it?
My Coach Topia bag that I like is that wavy one. I'm always eyeing that wavy one, and that comes in and out, comes in and out
uh,
in different stuff, did different stuff, but, um I guess when they were describing what they were gonna do, they were saying, I thought they were gonna be taking actual scrap of what was left over and creating bags
hmm
from the scraps, which I thought was brilliant,
yeah.
and that's not what they were doing. So that's kind of where my reservation was. It's like, meh. When he says people thinking I'm underhanded or deceiving, I can't get behind that. Oh shoot, I'm sorry about that. That's sad and hurtful. It is. Melissa says that's sad and hurtful. 5 foot nothing. It does suck. That's awful. I'm so sorry if someone has been making you feel bad, Winnie. I'm sorry, Winnie. Blingy
Yeah,
Bacon says,
that's
forget about them. Yes, we all say forget about them, Winnie. Just hang in there. Jackie says, Winnie, then they don't know who you really are. Yeah.
that's
I'm
true.
not like that, but it hurts when people think you are. But I'm cool. It's all good. I play too much with thinking I got friends. A lot of yeah. It's just hard. It's hard. You hang in there, Winnie. Hang in there. Um, Morella says some people are just miserable. They want you to be unhappy too. Winnie says, but I'm sorry. Let's hear about David. What makes him tick? Tick, tick, tick. Yeah, actually, David, I don't know. Because I don't really care, or not that I don't care, um, but you put it in your intro. So let's do that because you
Yeah,
say you do from a man's point of view, your
yeah,
bags.
yeah,
So tell us whatever you want to tell us about that line of it.
yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of added that because obviously, as a male, handbags are not typically something that most men carry.
Right.
And I mean, even these designers and companies don't advertise them. You have to click the women's link to find them, which I don't like. And now, granted, this is the algorithm, but before I started my channel, there wasn't a lot of male YouTubers doing handbag reviews and things like that. And that doesn't mean they weren't out there. I just didn't see them. We all know how
Right,
the
right.
algorithm
Just
goes.
couldn't find them. Right.
Exactly. And I think I found a couple. I believe Touch Jean was one that I saw, and there was a few others that kind of popped up occasionally. And I just kind of thought, as someone who likes these things, and I recently started buying them. I used to buy messenger bags because those were made for men,
Right.
and I was like, oh well, it's a man's bag technically. Well, I didn't like them because they're all the same. They're just rectangles that are thin and can hold like three things, and that's it. So I started buying handbags and I wasn't using them for a while. I just buy them and put them on my
And
shelf and
look at
stare
them.
at them and think these are very pretty. And watching the YouTubers that I could find, and even the female creators, Winnie being one of them, just how like inviting she made it look. All of them just you can carry whatever you want regardless of who you are. Is kind of what it felt like. So I thought, maybe I should do a channel and kind of focus on that as well because I can't be the only man out there that wants these things that doesn't feel like maybe they should, or
Yeah.
doesn't feel comfortable because I don't want to be the only one in the world. But I've learned, and since making my channel, the algorithm has now linked me to so many others. And I mean, even out in the wild, I see more men now than I ever have carrying bags. And I'm not
Oh
talking
yeah.
messenger bags. I
Yeah.
was at a burger place the other day, and this guy had a Fendi baguette,
Yeah.
and I wanted it first off because it was like the color I want.
I love
And
the Fendi baguette. Yeah.
me too. But I just think that that's important because ultimately, I will say there's no difference. The male point of view and the female point of view, it's the same. It's more my point of view because I like this bag. I happen to be a male. It doesn't mean that Dee Dee would not like this bag.
Right. Right.
So it just
Yeah.
depends. But I just think it's important, and I think
I
it's nice just to show that You're not.
that it's out there.
Yes,
And,
it's out there.
that's why I would say it's not that I don't care the word plight came to my mind, but that's
Sure.
not really because it's not like, um 'cause I'm like, people, it's handbags. But I know Jean had because I think there was that video thing going around for a little while. I think it might have been a collab. It was like men carrying bags
Oh
because I
yeah,
know
I was on. Yeah, yeah, I
Oh
did that
yeah,
with
yeah.
them.
Okay,
Yep.
I saw Caleb's and
Yeah.
I saw Jean's,
Yep.
and Jean was came to mind because he and I had a back and forth
Sure.
conversation because he was like, why don't that he just wished that it didn't say it just said handbags,
I
that it would
agree.
just be there.
Yep.
And I told him, I said, I agree to an extent. The problem is that if you have designers that would just design bags, but there's also designers who will design more feminine versus
Sure.
design more masculine kind of
Sure.
things.
Sure.
And so I told him, I said that was my thing is that if it wouldn't be all one way or all the other, if there was a balance,
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
conscious balance. Because
Sure.
like for me, I have to consciously because I'm a big woman. So I'm a big woman, and especially if I don't wear makeup and I don't have my earrings on or whatever, I can look a little tough. I can look a little tough in my day to day. So if I wear like the collars up high, or if I wear, something masculine or whatever, there's different unfortunately, people they kind of treat you a little bit
Sure.
differently, whatever,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, well, I'm a girl. I'm really a girly girl, sort of,
Right.
and but really, I grew up like I was a tomboy during the week and a dress on the weekend for Sundays for church. That's how
Sure.
it was, kind
Sure.
of thing, you know.
Sure.
But and I told him, I said, that's my only concern is that if the designers, because they always go with the trends of the time, so
Sure.
then if they assume that everything wants to be masculine, but then that's not always the way it is because some bags are not masculine or feminine. Some bags are like the Speedy,
Yeah.
for instance. I don't
Yeah.
see that
No,
as a masculine or a feminine bag.
I
If
agree.
you would, if you the way you dress it up with charms or chains or
Sure.
whatever,
Sure.
that's how you can kind of
Sure.
tell.
Sure.
Yeah.
G and I have talked about it a lot because and if you watch his channel, he likes Dior and he
Yeah.
loves Christian
Yes.
Dior,
Yes.
but Christian Dior bags tend to be more feminine.
Feminine.
Now,
Right.
I used to struggle with that, but I got to the point where I just don't care because I like what I like, and if
Yeah.
someone doesn't like it, I don't care. My product re-edition is one. That's a feminine bag. It's a little
Right.
shoulder bag. I can't wear it as a shoulder bag because these are too big.
I know it goes up
Uh,
in the arm. I can't wear
right.
it either, so don't worry.
Right. So that's a feminine bag. My Tiffany bag is feminine, and then I have it's in front of me. You can't see it, but it's a Louis Vuitton Tivoli PM. It's a
Oh
really
yeah.
pleated
Oh, I
bag.
love that one. Yeah.
I love that bag, but that is probably my most feminine bag I have. I still rock it, but once in a while when I'm carrying it, I'm like,
And
should I? But I love
yeah.
it, so I don't care.
Yeah.
But
I guess because it has the pleating in it, so you
yeah,
feel like that. Okay, because
yeah,
I'm gonna say because I look at that and I see that it's more, even though it has the pleating, it feels more structured to me. That's actually a bag that it's on my wish list. Jackie had one, but she had one.
she had the GM.
Yes, which
Yep,
is too big. It's too big for me. I
yep,
need the PM. I need the smaller one because I
I love
can't
it.
carry big bags because of my health.
Yep,
And so I almost had Jackie's bag, but I was like, "Oh, Jackie, I really can't do it because." And I
sure.
love, 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 love that bag. But I see that bag a little bit more, more masculine. So isn't that funny how
That is
our
funny.
eyes, our experience, just make it, differently. So that's why it's like, people have to carry stuff too. I
They
know
do.
but it's true. It's like my son and my husband, because it's really because that's all that there's out there. They carry, backpacks. Like he carries
Sure.
like two backpacks for work or whatever. Because he doesn't like the briefcases because he don't like to carry the briefcases. He's like, you can't put anything in them.
Yeah,
They're not or even like the messenger bags, they don't have the room. You put the laptop, but you can't put all the other crap that he needs for work and
exactly.
yeah. And or if you put them in there, you can't close the thingy
Uh-huh.
because all the other stuff. So
Yep.
that's why he just throws everything into his computer backpack. but I have been seeing a lot of slings lately, like the Coach slings
Yeah.
and things that
Mhm.
men have been wearing even around here,
Yeah.
and I
Same with
like
the
that.
Lululemon sling bag. I
Yes,
see a lot of
yes,
men doing
yes,
those.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's good too. And see, those are good bags where they have a really good balance because they have designs that will appease both sizes.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I really want one of the Lululemon ones, but I'm too big and it looks bad.
They
I
have the
tried
big, but have you tried the big ones? They have the big sizes.
no, I need to try that because I tried
Yeah,
against the
yeah,
smaller one.
because I was thinking the same thing too. First, the language of Lululemon, I was like, "What the heck?" And my friend was like, I can't believe you have every other bag and you don't have a Lululemon." I said, "I know, I don't have a Lululemon." So I have been looking at them. I didn't realize that there's different sizes,
Yeah,
and because of the language, I was like, "What the heck does this mean?"
very
And
true.
so it's the sizes on there, yeah.
Yeah,
So I was looking at those, but
yeah.
yeah.
I
But
must
I
have
have
tried the small one because it was not a vibe.
Well, let's see. We've been ignoring the chat a little bit because I've been enjoying chit chatting with you. Oh, it's a
Yes,
little bit after 7.
it
So
is.
let's go in here. Hi, happiness sparkles. Welcome in. I want to go ahead and wrap up, and then I want y'all to talk to David a little bit more, and then I want to get to Caleb's. Is Caleb having a live tonight? I want to make sure. I didn't see a notice or anything, but the notices have been crazy from YouTube. Um, let's see. Uh Bunny Solis talks about the Coach Trophy on the leathers. Yeah, yeah. Um, I got the denim plastic textile. Ooh, I don't. I hear denim. I want denim. That sounds pretty, Jackie. It does. It does. 5 foot nothing. Not nag. Nag, not nag. You got a new denim? Oh, bag, Jackie. Sorry, I'm losing track of the conversation. She's too early. I love Jackie says she loves men carrying bags. James has a few, but still the masculine type. Yeah. And that's not anything wrong with that either.
No,
There's
not at all.
nothing wrong with that if that's where they feel more comfortable with.
Sure.
Yeah, I never see men carrying bags when I'm out and about. I have seen them. We have this little restaurant, it's a little hole in the wall, and I actually saw an older gentleman, and he was carrying like a little small messenger bag, and it was like I actually think it was a sack bag. I because 5 foot nothing did it was a crochet bag. She did her thing on sack bags today, and I actually think now that I'm thinking back, I think it was a sack bag, but it was like very it was like a the colors weren't like real colorful, but he
Sure.
had that. Jackie, when are you unboxing Yota art? Oh, I still need to do that. Dee Dee, you always look beautiful with any bag. Oh, thank you, Melissa. You're so
Mm.
sweet. Winnie says bye. Love you guys. Bye, Winnie. We love you too. Be careful. Hang in there. Don't worry about it. I won't. Just my social game. Okay. I love masculine bags. That's why Finding Solace says, I love masculine bags. That's why I watch the guys. There are some really cool bad ass bags out there. There are.
There are.
Now, there are like I like the men's SLGs. I like to shop in the men's
Yes.
SLGs because
Especially Louis Vuitton because they have the
yes,
graphite color.
yes, and
It's
they have yeah, they're fun. They're
yeah.
fun. Yeah, I like that. Can't afford them, but they're fun. Uh, seriously, I love the men's section. Yeah, I actually find a lot of women who've said that they like to shop the men's line in that, and that was even before Pharrell. But they like to shop the men's line. Uh, 5 foot nothing says I'm not familiar with Coach Topia denim. Uh, are you familiar with the Coachtopia line? The Coachtopia line and Coach has a secondary line where they're kind of doing recycled. It's bonded leather is what they're doing, and it's their recycled type of line. And so they have all kinds of crazy stuff there. You actually probably would like it, 5 foot nothing. I think it's probably kind of up your wheelhouse. You just have to look and know what you're buying. You know what you're buying.
Yeah.
Uh Something mustache. Have you seen the saffron LV bag? Do you know which one that is? I haven't seen that one.
I'm not
Uh,
sure. I'm gonna Google it after this, though. That's for
Okay,
sure.
Blingy Bacon, yes, Caleb's on. Okay, all righty, then we will go. I know he has a little intro going on, so we want to make sure that takes a little
Sure.
while. Finding Solace says Lululemon has mostly terrible bags, but I do have a camera bag in a gorgeous brown color and two belt bags to go to the grocery store in. You don't like Lululemon bags? I think they're kind of cute. Thank you. I love contemporary bags. Yeah. 5 foot nothing says I've learned so much about different brands of bags watching your channel, Jackie. Yes, yes, we all have. Jackie has great eclectic taste.
It
She
does.
dives into everything, and we love that. She just tries them all. I
She
love
does.
shopping in the men's clothing and bags. I wear men's t-shirts because of the length. It's better. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so David, tell us what you have coming up. Tell us how to find you again.
Yeah. So, as we discussed, I'm really far ahead on filming, so I don't really know what's coming up. I know there's a
Oh,
lot of
okay, okay.
unboxings. There's a lot of really great unboxings, none that you
Good.
can see. So keep your eye out for that. And there may be something on the way I'm ordering today. Don't tell my spouse. Yeah. And then of course you can find me at David's Closet. It's linked here. And then my Instagram is David's underscore closet underscore Lux. Someone else had David's Closet, so I had to expand it. So
Gotcha.
yes. And I want to say thank you to Dee Dee.
Oh,
I was not a easy scheduler because with my jobs, it's crazy, and she had to do this later, I'm sure, than she wanted. So thank you for being so
you
flexible.
welcome. You welcome. Thank you so much, David. It's been a pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much.
Of course, we'll
All
see you again
right.
soon.
Okay. Bye-bye, David. All
Bye.
right.
Bye, everyone.
Everybody tell David bye. And then you have to X out, David, okay?
Okay. Bye.
To just the 3 and 4 o'clock slots on Wednesdays and Thursdays in July. And then the late night stuff will be on Wednesday. So if you're trying to schedule with me or if you'd like to be on, then if you need a late night, it will be on a Wednesday night because Thursdays is real congested with everybody trying to be on. And then on Wednesday, Super Jacob comes on, but sometimes he comes on at midnight, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's really kind of crazy. So I think that will be okay there. But on July the 3rd, we have Melissa from Melissa's Closet. She will be on July the 3rd, which is Wednesday. Then I will be on a break for vacation. We'll be out on cruise vacation. Woohoo! I have plenty of content out there to keep y'all company. I will return with a live on the 17th of July, and I have Kristen D scheduled on the 17th, the 18th. I have Jorge Helena's Journey. On the 24th, I have Veronica Sid. On the 31st, I have Toad's Jean. And then I am working with a couple of other people. I know Jolie, I'm waiting for her to come back on vacation so we can schedule hers. So she should be coming in July. And then I will be a guest on Jolie's live on the 21st. So that's kind of what I have coming up. I want to thank y'all so much for being there for me, and thank you so much for being here. Replay beauties, thank you so much for if you're watching this on the replay. I will have David's closet linked in the description blocks. Please go by and help. Let's try to have all you being beauties push him over the top. We know he's around 930 right now, so let's help push him over the top and get to that 1,000. And while you're at it, if you're not subscribed to me either, please do so and help me. All right, being beauties, love y'all so much. Thank you so much for being here. Bye bye.